Hello, my dear students. Today we shall discuss the peninsular plateau. As I have already told you all that this peninsular plateau is the oldest landmass of India. Why it is the oldest landmass of India? Because it was the part of the Gondwana land. Is it? It was a part of the Gondwana land. And this peninsular plateau is made up of the old crystalline, igneous, and metamorphic rock. This peninsular plateau has shallow valleys and table-like type of the structure, or we can say flat peaks. The peaks which are here, that are not sharp, that are flat. Okay. Now, this peninsular plateau is divided into the two parts. One is the Central Highland and another is the Deccan Plateau. Yes, this is two. Central Highland Deccan Plateau. So first we shall discuss about the Central Highland. Later on we shall discuss about the Deccan Plateau. So, Central Highland. What is the location of the Central Highland? Location north of river Narmada. Yes, the area which is north of the river Narmada, that area is known as the Central Highland. To its south, to the south of Central Highland, there is the Vindhya Range, and to its northwest is the Aravallis. Yes, south Vindhya Range, northwest Aravallis. And when this Central Highland further moved to northwest, it merged into the Rajasthan. Or we can say Rajasthan is its further northwest. Further northwest is the Rajasthan. Now, the area of the Central Highland is broader in the northwest and it is shallower or thinner into the east. Yes, here I am making you for understanding purpose directions: north, south, east, west. Four more cardinals are there. This is northeast, northwest, southwest, and southeast. Is it? Now, four rivers are here. In the Central Highland, four rivers are there. That are the Chambal, Sindh, Betwa, and King. These are the four rivers which are found into the area of the Central Highland, and these four rivers flow from southwest to the northeast. Is it? So by this we can understand what is the slope of this Central Highland. Means it is higher in the southwest and it is lower in the northeast. Okay. Now this Central Highlands eastern part is known by the local names, that is known as the Bundelkhand or the Baghelkhand. When this Central Highland further moves to the east, it is separated by the Deccan Plateau, and this area which after Central Highland which is separated by the Deccan Plateau, that is drained by the Damodar River. Now one more thing which I forgot to tell, in this Central Highland area of Malwa Plateau is also there. Area of Malwa Plateau is also found into the Central Highland. So this was all about the Central Highland. Now second one is the Deccan Plateau. It is believed that area of the Deccan Plateau is too much comparison to the area of the Central Highland. It is believed that this Deccan Plateau is triangular in the shape, and this Deccan Plateau is made up of the old crystalline and igneous rocks. Mostly in this Deccan Plateau, black soil is found. Yes. Now, Satpura Range. In the south of the Deccan Plateau, there is in the north of the Deccan Plateau is the Satpura Range, and in the east of the Deccan Plateau there are the three ranges. So here the Satpura, and here three ranges are there: Mahadev, Michael, and North Catcher Hills. One more thing, eastern part of the Deccan Plateau is also known by the local names, or we can say some part of this Deccan Plateau found in the eastern area, that is known as the Meghalaya, Anglong, Karbi or Karbi Anglong. Yes. Now there are three prominent hill ranges which run to the north areas, that are the Garo, Khasi, and the Jaintia. Is it? Now, suppose this is the map of the India. Now, this is Western Ghat. This is Eastern Ghat. Is it? So, Eastern Ghat and Western Ghats mark the boundary, mark the eastern and western boundary of the peninsular plateau. Now, this Western Ghat is higher comparison to the Eastern Ghat, the average height of this Western Ghat is 900 to 1600 meters. While the average height of the Eastern Ghat is 600 meters. Is it? Now, this Eastern Ghat is not continuous, means it is irregular in the shape, and this Eastern Ghat is bisected, means cut off by various rivers, that rivers which merge into the Bay of Bengal. Now, comparison to the Eastern Ghat, the area of the Western Ghat is continuous, means it is not irregular in the shape. One more thing, when we will move from north to the south, the height of the Western Ghat started to increase, means we can say in the north it is of the lower height. Don't say lower height, write only lower. In the north it is lower and in the south it is higher. Now, one more thing. The highest peaks of the Western Ghat are two. One is the Anaimuni and another is the Doda Betta. These are the two highest hills which are found into the Western Ghat. Anaimuni is 2693 meters and this is 2637 meters. Anaimuni and Doda Betta. Now, in case of the Eastern Ghat, its highest peak is the Mahendragiri, which is of 1501 meters. So don't forget this. Highest peak of the Eastern Ghat, Mahendragiri, 1501 meter. Highest peaks of the Western Ghat, Anaimuni and the Doda Betta. Now, the most important feature of this peninsular plateau is its black soil. About this I have already told you. And this black soil has been originated from the volcanic eruptions over millions of the years. These rocks are the lava of the volcanic eruptions cooled, eroded and form the black soil which make this area so much rich and fertile. So, this was all about the peninsular plateau. Now we shall move forward to the desert or Indian desert. Indian desert. Now, the area which lies to the northwest of peninsular plateau, northwest of peninsular plateau, that area is known as the Indian desert. And when we move further northwest, it merges into the Pakistan. In the desert region, sandy soil is found. Sandy soil, rainfall is very less. That is less than 150 millimeters. So, as a result of this much less rainfall, in the rainy season, a lot of streams appear, but very soon they disappear because they have not enough water to merge into the ocean or the sea. Now, the most important thing which is found into the desert region, that is the dunes. If I will write sand dunes, it will be more good. Sand dunes. Now, dune means mound. In Hindi, it is known as a tila. Yes. When at any area, a lot of sands are being deposited, they form such type of structures that are known as the mounds or the dunes. So, in the desert also, such dunes are very much visible. Two types of sand dunes are very much visible in the desert region. One is the crescent shape, and another is the longitudinal. Crescent dunes are such type in the shape. Yes, this is the crescent, and longitudinal, this is. Okay, so this was all about the Indian desert. In the next video, we shall finish this chapter. Okay, bye bye, my dear students.